Hi, I'm Ross from Coombe Property Accountants in Hamilton. I'm going to give you my opinion on what's going to happen with the Brightline test. Obviously we've heard that it's going to change from 2 years to 5 years, so I'm going to look a bit more at the Brightline test and then my pick of what's going to happen. Obviously it is a pick, there's no exact information, it's not been put in Labour's Brightline, 100-day plan, so there's no definites at this stage, but it seems that it's definitely something that's coming up on the cards, so it's just working out my pick of when it's going to happen and how that could affect you. So first of all, just a little summary of the Brightline test. Obviously it was introduced on the 1st of October 15. There's a personal home exclusion. Basically, if you buy and sell 2 homes within 2 years that are your true personal home, then they're exempt from the Brightline test and not taxed by it. Otherwise, in general, it's trying to tax rental properties. So if you buy a rental property after the 1st of October 15, you sell it within 2 years, then the gains are taxable. Just bear in mind that there is some other taxing provisions. So you can be taxed for intention. If you buy a property with intention to sell, then that's going to be taxable. If you do a subdivision, generally those proceeds can be taxable, and rezoning is another example of how you can be taxed as well. So it's not just under the Brightline test. Just because you've held your property for 2 years and 1 month doesn't mean that it's not taxable. You still need to think about those other taxing provisions. So with the Brightline test at the moment, when you sell a property and if you're trying not to be caught by the Brightline test, you're looking at the shortest possible period. So we're looking at settlement date for when you purchased it. So you might have signed a contract on the 1st of November 2015 and then actually settled on the property 1st of December 15. So that settlement date is the start of the 2 years. Then your 2 years will run the shortest possible period. So as soon as you enter into a sale and purchase agreement, that's the end point for the 2 years. So if you did that within the 2 years period, so by the 1st of December 2017, it'll be taxable under the Brightline test. If you went over the 2 years, so maybe into January 2018, then it won't be caught by the Brightline test. So then my picks. I think there's 3 real options that Labor could look at to bring in the Brightline test, and just bearing in mind the legislation is already there, so they could bring it in quite quickly. It's just a change to the existing legislation. So the first one is they could backdate it to the 1st of October 15. I suppose it would be really neat and tidy. You would have one date that the Brightline test applies from, being the 1st of October 2015. The big problem with that is some people are already past those 2 years, so they could have already sold. So what will happen with them? It's hardly fair that they've made a decision, sold a property on the understanding that it's not caught by the Brightline, it's over the 2 years and non-taxable. So it would be now very unfair for that to be taxable. The second one we could look at is we could backdate to something like the 1st of October 16. No one would have sold a property after the 2-year period because the 2 years won't come up until October 18, so it's relatively neat from that point of view. We could then change to 5 years from the 1st of October 16. The problem is you're starting to get different dates. You've got the 2 years from the 1st of October 15, you've got 5 years the 1st of October 16. It's sort of unfair on some of those people who haven't quite got the 2 years. So then that brings the third option, and to me the likely option what will happen, and that's to start from a certain date. If I was Labor, I'd pick the 1st of October 18. It's keeping with the 1st of October trend so that you've got the same date. So it would be 2 years for any property purchased up until the 1st of October 18, and then 5 years for any new property purchased after the 1st of October 18. In my opinion, that's reasonably fair on people who've got existing properties and might be selling for some reason under the old rules, but then also gets them changing quite quickly to the 5 years. So that would be my pick of the 2. Otherwise, like I said, it's possible that they backdate to a date in the middle like the 1st of October 16. Real impacts on property investors? To me, there should be none. If you're a true property investor, you should be holding long term. You shouldn't be really buying and selling within a 5-year period anyway. So I actually quite like the idea that it's taxed. If you buy a property for a rental, you keep it as a long-term hold and you sell it within 5 years. I actually quite like that the gains are taxable. To me, that's fair and equitable on everyone. So hopefully you've enjoyed that. Tomorrow we've also got a really good newsletter or blog coming out on how LTCs will be affected by the changes coming up, that the government are going to stop rental losses being allowed to offset your personal income. So I've got a really good blog on how that will affect LTCs and whether LTCs will still be right for you. Thank you very much.